It's wild to think that a persistent cough and like a certain frail beauty, were once kind of admired.
Yeah,
It's so strange to us now.
it is.
But that was tuberculosis back then. Consumption, as they called it.
Yeah.
It had a totally different vibe.
Right.
For centuries, though, it's been with us, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Humanity's constant companion, this disease.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what we're going to like really dig into today, this whole TB thing.
Hmm.
And you're using the stuff you sent us, all about John Green's new book, Everything Is Tuberculosis.
What's crazy is how TB has this like double image, this
Uh-huh.
long history, sometimes even romanticized, but it's still a top killer.
Yeah.
Globally, I mean, from infectious disease, that's huge.
It is. It makes you think perceptions change, but the biology, it's still harsh.
Exactly.
So for anyone who's read John Green, maybe The Fault in Our Stars or the Anthropocene Reviewed,
Yeah.
he can connect big ideas with personal stories.
Oh, he's great at that.
And he's really into global healthcare, being fair to everyone.
Right.
This book seems like where those things come together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our deep dive today, we want to unpack what you sent us.
Okay. Yeah.
The key stuff about TB, its history, why it sticks around, and how we fight it.
Makes sense.
A clear picture for you.
And it's not just looking back, right?
No.
The book review you sent, Everything Is Tuberculosis. It's like a call to action.
I see.
It wants us to do something about this global health problem.
Right into the thick of it then.
Let's go.
The book seems to start with a real human story. Tell us about Henry Reider. Why is he so important?
It's smart how Green takes this complex issue and makes it personal right from the start.
Yeah.
Henry, he's this young guy with TB in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
He's described as having spindly legs, but a big, goofy smile, like you can picture him. And his story isn't just a one-off.
Right.
It's woven throughout the whole book. It ties everything together.
So not just statistics, it's grounded.
Nope.
You feel it.
That's what makes it work.
The review mentioned this deeply considered human touch. That's Green's style.
Absolutely. Keeps it real by focusing on people like Henry.
Makes it relatable instead of technical.
Right. You don't get bogged down.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Historical perspective time.
Sure.
This whole consumption of poets idea,
Yeah.
it's so jarring now.
Totally different from how we see TB today.
Back then, 19th century, it was almost, I don't know, glamorous.
Romanticized for sure.
Yeah, tied to art, sensitivity, even genius, like a badge of honor, tragic, but
You saw it with so many artists and writers back then. They got TB, and
yeah.
the book, it really dives into this shift, how we viewed TB.
From that romanticized view to today.
Yeah, how do we see it now?
Today, it's completely flipped, right?
Yeah, the book review calls it a disease of poverty, tied to injustice.
No longer artists, but the disadvantaged.
Exactly. And this wasn't just people's opinions changing.
I see.
We understood germs better, society shifted. We moved from like individual genius suffering to public health, tied to industry and being poor.
Right.
It changed everything. Where money went, who was to blame for sickness.
This wasn't just about image, it was about who it affected.
Yeah, who suffered.
And the book digs into the science of TB too, right?
It does, and the review points out how clear Green is about it.
Okay.
Like, it mentions how TB can affect your bones,
Oh, wow.
showing it's not just your lungs.
Right.
He breaks down all that immune system stuff, how your body fights the bacteria.
So he makes it understandable.
Yeah, it's his strength, yeah.
But then there's this big challenge we face with TB.
Uh-huh. What's that?
Antibiotic resistance,
A
right?
huge problem.
Yeah, MDR-TB. It's scary.
Basically, the TB bacteria, they mutate, become resistant to the usual drugs.
So what happens then?
Doctors got to use weaker drugs, more toxic ones, and for way longer.
No, that's bad.
It affects patients, and healthcare costs go up.
This connects to the core of the book, right?
Yeah, the inequity thing.
TB is still a big problem. Not because we don't know enough,
Right.
but because of unfairness in healthcare, globally.
It thrives in places where people are crowded, malnourished, can't get good health care.
And those aren't just standalone problems, are they?
No, they're all connected.
The review links them to bigger global issues.
Climate change, war, the economy, they make things worse for TB to spread.
Wow, it's all tangled up.
People displaced, poor, no good food or sanitation. That's where TB takes hold.
So rich countries can't ignore this, right?
They shouldn't.
The review says they often see it as someone else's problem,
It's easy to think that way.
but it can travel.
Absolutely. Borders don't stop it.
It's everyone's problem.
Exactly. A shared responsibility.
So this isn't just about learning stuff. The book is a call to action.
It is. It's pushing for change.
What kind of change?
More money for research, better tools to diagnose TB, more effective treatments, maybe even a vaccine.
And what about access to the treatments we already have?
That needs improvement, too. And we need more people to understand TB, know about it.
So he's saying our ideas about TB might be wrong.
Yeah, who gets it, why it matters to all of us.
It's not just a disease of the past.
Nope, it's happening now, and we all got to do something.
Okay, now we get to the really powerful part, the stuff you sent.
Yeah, the Amazon review.
The personal story, someone who had TB, it makes it real.
It does, and sadly, it shows the problems the book talks about.
This person got TB, their immune system wasn't strong.
And then misdiagnosed, problems getting the right care.
6 months of treatment for walking pneumonia.
Wow.
Told they weren't dying. Trouble finding a doctor. It's crazy how strained our system is.
Yeah.
And then finally diagnosed with TB, almost by chance, it seems.
So much waiting, delays in testing, and then boom, you have TB. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah, and then isolation because it can spread.
It's a lot to deal with.
Being told you're not dying while so sick, that's messed up.
It is. We misunderstand illness sometimes.
This person connected their experience to what they learned about TB.
Makes sense.
Even figured out where they might have gotten it.
That's interesting.
It shows that TB can happen to anyone.
Doesn't matter who you are, where you live.
And their diagnosis was late.
It happens, especially if you don't fit the typical picture of a TB patient.
But even after all that, they're grateful for the book.
That's powerful.
They thank John Green for speaking up, for fighting for better treatment.
That's inspiring.
Facing the truth was hard, but they saw how important it was.
Yeah, for change to happen.
And they felt connected to Henry Reider.
That's amazing. Their lives so different, but they felt kinship.
Shows how well the book builds empathy. Illness is a shared experience.
It really humanizes a disease that can seem so far away.
Okay, let's see what the critics say. He has some editorial reviews.
Yeah, good idea. What stood out to you? They all praised how Green mixes memoir, medical history, and cultural analysis.
Seamlessly, they said.
He makes a global problem feel personal, something we can understand.
And the writing, they called it enlightening and thought-provoking.
Exactly. Keeps you thinking.
The writing being clear seems key to why people like it.
Definitely a complex topic, but they get it.
Making it understandable is so important.
It is. More people will learn about TB that way.
One review said the book is terribly relevant now.
Because of how stressed our healthcare systems are.
Yeah, all those weaknesses.
Oh.
And the pandemic made it worse.
The Amazon reviewer's story shows how real that is.
And the book is already a hit.
#1 bestseller on Amazon in multiple categories.
Even before it's officially out, people are interested.
It's making an impact.
Finally, let's talk about John Green himself.
Okay.
Why did he write this book? It's clearly more than just an idea for him.
He's been involved with Partners in Health for a while.
They're a big deal in global health, right?
Yeah, very respected. And he's spoken at the UN about ending TB.
So this book is part of a bigger fight for him.
He's been at this for a long time.
To wrap it up for you, dear listener, tuberculosis, it's been around forever.
A long, surprising story.
Yeah, part of human culture in ways we don't expect.
It's fascinating.
It was romanticized once, but now it's a killer.
A serious global threat.
Mostly affecting the vulnerable because of unfairness.
It's not because we can't fight it.
We can. TB is curable. We can prevent it.
That's the important thing to remember.
And those personal stories, the Amazon reviewer, Henry, in the book,
they're so powerful.
They show us the human cost of this disease.
And why we need to pay attention, act now, globally.
It makes you think, even a disease that seems far away,
one we don't hear about much.
It shaped our world.
And we have to deal with.
Are there other global problems we're ignoring, ones we don't understand?
Ones we need to challenge our thinking about.
Where we need to work together.
It's a good question to ask yourself.
What silent epidemics are happening around us?
What can we do to bring them to light, to make things better?
That's something to think about.
It is.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
See you then.